Okay, guys, this is a quick video on square roots. Here, we're going to be estimating without going over, okay? So what is a good estimate of the square root of 22? Okay, if you know your square roots, which if you do not know your square roots all the way to 100, please make sure that you know them. It's 10 flashcards, should not take that long. Now, you're thinking to yourself, okay, what square root do I know that's near 22? I know the square root of 25. Okay, so the square root of 25 is over. That's too much. So it's less than that. What's the square root before the square root of 25? Square root of 16. Okay, square root of 16. So I don't know what the answer to the square root of 22 is, but I know that it's between the square root of 16, which is 4. The square root of 16 is 4, and the square root of 25, which is 5. Remember, square roots are asking what number times itself equals that number that's here. So now that I know it's between 4 and 5, I know it's a decimal point, which makes it an irrational number because there's no decimal point times itself that's going to make a whole number. So we're going to try to get as close as possible without going over. So let's see here. How far is 22 from 25? It's only 3 numbers away, so it's pretty close to 25. How far is 22 from 16? So how far is 22 from 16? It's about let me see here, 6 away. So it's double the distance. So it's way closer to the 25, which means it's way closer, which means the answer is way closer to 5. So now we're thinking 4.7, 4.8, or 4.9. It's one of those. I don't know which one it is. I know it's less than 5 because it's not over. So it's close to there. So let's try 4.7. So we'll do 4.7. 4.7 times itself, 4.7. Okay, 7 times 7, that's 49. 7 times 4, that's 28, plus 4, 32. 4 times 7, that's going to be 28. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2, that's 18. I don't know why I'm writing a 2. 18, that's going to give me 9, 0, 1, 11, 12, 2, 22.09. So 4.7 is too much, but by such a small margin that I know if I do 4.6 times 4.6, it's going to be less. So such a good guess gave me the answer. 4.6 is as close as you can get without going over. Okay? And you can double check that. Do 4.6 times 4.6. See if it gets over 22. It won't. All right? So that's how you do these. The best guess will be good. If this was way lower, I would have tried 4.8 times 4.8 and seen if I got closer. Because this is so close, I know that if I go down one number, it's going to be the answer. Okay, so that's it for that one. Now this is about area of squares and volume of cubes. Okay, so for this one, if I told you the area of a square, so you know what the area is. The area of the square is 16 centimeters cubed. Squared, it should be squared. Oh, it does say squared. 16 centimeters squared. A square, all the sides are the same. So this and this are the same number. The area of this is one number times itself. What number times itself, because an edge is the length of the side here. Okay? So what number times itself gives you 16? So the answer has to be 4. Each edge is 4. Okay? Why? Because 4 times 4 will give you that. Oh, Mr. Castro, I could have used 8 and 2. You can't because this is a square. Okay? This is a square. In this section, we were just using squares. So if it's a square, all the sides are the same length. I don't know why I'm wearing this. There's nobody else in this classroom. Let me try to get this off of me without making craziness happen. Okay, so, ooh, yeah, that feels a lot freer. Okay, so now over here, we're going to do the square root. So same work, but it looks different. What's the square root of 64? 64 is the area. I want to know what number times itself gives you 64. Okay, what number times itself gives you 64? The answer is 8. Okay, so now we know that this answer is 8. Every side is 8 of this square. Okay, let's do here. Volume is the same thing. Here you have a cube. Okay, Let's see Mr. Cassers' cube drawing skills at work here. There we go. You have a cube, okay? And the volume is 125 centimeters cubed, okay? Now it's a cube, so all the sides are the same. Okay, how do you find volume? You multiply length times width times height, and you would have gotten volume. So we know that each number is the same. So what number times itself again? So what number times that same exact number times that same exact number again? What number goes in here and it gives you 125? Now, the clues are that it's odd. So you automatically know that you're dealing with odd numbers. So you're not doing 2, you're not doing 4, you're not doing 6, you're not doing 8. You're doing odd numbers. If it was even, I would have done even numbers. So this one is odd. So I know it's an odd number. Well, 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 gives you 9. 9 times 3 gives you 27. That's too low. We're going to try 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And what's 25 times 5? 125. So 5 is the correct answer. So what is each side of this cube? The answer is going to be 5, or Mr. Castor's weird S's, right? So let's do the same thing here. There's another way of asking you this question. What's the square root of 27? I mean, a cube root of 27. What I just said it, right? What number times itself again gives you 27? The answer for this is 3. We actually answered it in the last one that we were trying to figure out. Okay, so that one's 3. All right, now here, with these problems, they write them like this, or they write them in another way. Another form that they can write them in is this. They can say x squared equals 4, okay? Why is this the same as that? Because square root is the opposite of squaring. So this number is saying something times itself equals 4, okay? If I want to get rid of that, I would have square rooted this side and square rooted this side. And now I'm left with x by itself because this cancels because they're opposites. And this will equal square root of 4. So x equals square root of 4. All right, so it is the same thing. So there's 2 ways of writing it. Same thing for the cube. If I can write this question like this. Something to the power of 3 equals 8. How would I cancel out the 3? I would do a cube root of 3. Cube root of 3. And the answer would be 8. Okay? So, I mean, cube root of 8. X equals the cube root of 8. All right? So let's find out the answers to these. There's some oddities here because now I'm looking for all possible solutions. So this isn't just a measurement. Measurements are always positive. So this opens up our minds to other possibilities. The square root of 4, okay, has an answer. You know what the square root of 4? What number times itself makes 4? 2, right? But the other answer that you could get is negative 2. Okay, 2 or negative 2. Why? How is negative 2 an answer, Mr. Kessler? That makes no sense. Okay, well, let's try them out. 2 times 2, 2 times 2, that equals 4. Okay? Let's try negative 2 times negative 2. What does that give us? A negative times a negative is going to make a positive. 2 times 2 is 4. A number times itself, that makes 4. So there's 2 answers. Now, instead of writing this, 2 or negative 2, okay, there's a shorthand for this, and it's positive or negative 2. Okay, so this has 2 answers. When you're thinking of it as all possible answers. When you're just talking about measurements, it just has 1 answer. So this one, what number times itself gives you negative 16? Well, I know 4 times 4 gives you 16. So, but 4 times itself will give you positive 16. And negative 4 times negative 4 also gives you positive 16. I can't think of any other numbers that make 16. You're right. This here, the square root of a negative number has no solution. Okay? Now these, okay, so when you look at a square root and I'm asking for all possible solutions, there's 2 possible scenarios. You have 2 answers or you have none. Okay, so 2 answers or none. With cube roots, there's always just 1 answer. Okay, there's always just 1 answer. Okay, so for cube roots, what number times itself again gives you 8? The answer is 2. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2, this will give you 4. 4 times 2, that gives you 8. All right? Now, Mr. Cashers, what about negative 2? Maybe it'll work. Well, let's try it. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Okay? So negative 2 times negative 2, we already checked. That makes positive 4, right? But now I have to multiply by negative 2. Now this is a positive and negative, so this will give you negative 8. So no, this one only has one solution. It's the positive 2. Okay? This one has also one solution. I just proved to you that a negative times a negative times a negative gives you a negative solution. Okay? So this also has one answer. The answer for this one is negative 5, because negative 5 times negative 5 makes positive 25, and positive 25 times negative 5 will give you a negative 125. Okay, so if you want to have some notes for this for shorthand looking, if a square root has a positive number inside, okay, the solution is going to look like this. If a square root has a negative solution, okay, it should look like this. No solution. No solution. Or one of these like, boom, there's no answers. Okay? You cube root of a positive number gives you a positive solution. And the cube root of a negative will give you a negative solution. Okay? So I'll get out of the way. I feel like I was in the way a lot, but there it is. All right? Done.